Good morning, everyone. We've got few people already logged in, so 12:01, so I suggest we start. Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, part of our brand new CDMV campus program. We invite you to visit our website, www.cdmv.com, frequently and explore a wealth of tools and knowledge to help you excel in your role and enable you to learn, grow, and succeed. My name is Julie Caron. I'm Senior Director of Digital Strategies at CDMV, and I'll be your moderator today. I'd like to thank you for attending. Please note that this conference will be recorded and available for replay on our website within the next 7 days. So to ensure that the sessions run smoothly, your microphones will be muted and your cameras closed. However, we invite you to register your question in the chat room, and at the end of the presentation, we'll allocate a period during which we will answer them. Today's conference is entitled Improving the Euthanasia Experience for Clients and the Veterinary Team. This webinar aims to provide guidance and empathetic support to facilitate end-of-life decision-making. So let me introduce our guest speaker. We're privileged to welcome Dr. Céline Leurteux, who has been practicing small animal medicine since 1999. She is interested in the psychological aspect of the practice of veterinary medicine, both to optimize relationships with the veterinary team and with clients. Over the years, she has developed a personalized approach to euthanasia, an important moment for which veterinary professionals are not sufficiently prepared during their training. So I will leave you now with Celine's care. So Celine, I'm transferring you.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for making time. I recognize some names there, including some end-of-life experts from Quebec. Bonsoir, Annie Ross and Amélie Blackburn. And thank you for the rest for making time to be with us to improve that experience of euthanasia. So I introduce you to my dog, Pepper. He's a special edition. He's a Australian Blue Heeler mix shelter dog I got in Costa Rica. I thought I would never do that and get a dog from a shelter out from abroad, but I did it. You never know what you're going to end up doing after being forced by your children after they do psychological harassment to you. But he's making me a better person. Being a hyper-vigilant dog that glows in the dark because he's on CBD, special diet, probiotics, Adaptil, and so many other things. So, okay. So quick introduction. I'm one of those vets that I wanted to be a vet when I was 8 years old, and that's just me with my first rabbit. I'm so excited. And the next morning, I turned out to be a family of 13 rabbits. Just loved it. I was obsessed by being a vet when I was a kid. And then when I was thrown in practice without zero education around end of life, it was really tough. So the idea tonight is to share what has worked for me to transform the euthanasia experience that used to be a stress for me when I saw it on the schedule. That was going to go wrong this time. Is the vein going to blow? Is the client's going to faint? Or the animal's going to want to bite or have some agonic breathing, And now it's like, oh, euthanasia, a break. I'm going to make a difference with this family and I'm going to live an experience. So this is how I handle euthanasia now. But then, and yet I had to put that beloved pet in a garbage bag and made me feel like I worked in the mafia. And I'm like, I don't deserve that. So people ask me how I came up with Euthabag. It's like, well, after you're against your values for a couple of thousands of times, at one point you're just like, that's enough. I can't do this anymore. So I designed that because I needed it and I couldn't find it on the market. And I thought, well, just like a surgery I don't know how to manage, I'll just open up a book and figure out how to market stuff and all the things. And here we are 8 years later, been working with CDMV, amazing partnership for 6 years. And they really actually 8 years now, they really made a difference in how I was able to reach the market in Canada. And our team is made of just vet professionals, vets, vet techs, and pet lovers. So we know what you guys handle in a day-to-day practice, and we're here to help. And this is true. It's not just we walk the talk, and we just want to help you to make that experience better for the pet, for your team, and for the family. We're woman owned, we're independent, and we give 1% of our sales to nonprofit. And I wish to pressure more of the veterinary businesses into that direction because we can do it and make a difference in the world. Okay, today we're going to talk about what the family is expecting, what we can offer them, and how to twist our communication around end of life in a positive way. Briefly, children and pet loss, and also responsible home burial. Some liability issues there. And this is my little Pepper when he's very relaxed in the field. You know that, but we get told that, oh, vets are so expensive, they're in for the money. And then, you get that told so often, you might think, it's true at one point. Just want to share that survey that was done almost 10 years ago now, but 95% of us are there because we love pets. Okay, so this is true. We're here for the good reasons, and we're here because we love science and making a difference. And I just think that euthanasia especially is such a delicate moment where you want to build some trust, you want to make the client see that you share something together. So you might want to just start the consult saying, hey, hi, I'm Celine, and I love pets. That this is what brought me to VetMed, and I'm here to help because I understand how difficult it is. I actually lost one of my pets a couple of years ago, and it's not easy. It's not either, it's not more easy for us either. And just like show that you share something with them and that they're not like judged by somebody that has no clue of what they're going through. Quick stat, and you can share later if you agree or not with this survey, but in the US, a vet will euthanize about 9 dogs and 6 cats a month. So that's a little over 100 a year. So close to actually 150, over 150. So in my experience, I was closer to 120 or something, but that's a lot of euthanasia. I love that quote from my guru, Danny McVie, the founder of Lap of Love, that is an at-home euthanasia service in the US. Euthanasia is an art form. And that's probably why I like it so much, because I'm a creative person. I like to make a difference. I like to come up with a twist and, pull on all those threads that make a difference in people's lives. So it's a lot of communication. Yet we were not trained for that at all. So I had to do a lot of mistakes before I kind of came up with something that people understood and felt good about. So preparing the family, and that stuff you probably know already, but just in case we have some younger folks here, letting the family move at their own pace is something important, but sometimes it's hard for us because we just want this pet to stop suffering. But it's a process that takes some time. And also being honest, because as you know, a lot of families are not realistic with their expectations on our treatment or just how a disease will evolve. And they might think that this renal cat will, by some kind of miracle, or because they do the treatments or they change the diet, he will come back to where he was, but it's not quite the case. So sometimes, yes, we never know, but we kind of know what the trend is. And in our experience, we can help the families readjust their expectations on our treatment and what's going to be the outcome. Make things easier for them. We'll see that, because euthanasia, in case you don't know, guys, I just found out about that not long ago. Making that decision for this pet is one of the hardest decisions of their life. Like before getting a divorce, changing job, buying a car. It's like, when is Fluffy going? Today, Tuesday in the morning, at night? Oh, maybe we should wait another week. Oh, maybe next month. Oh, yeah. It's really hard. So we need to provide them with something to make it easier. Just remember, it's something really easy, but it didn't come naturally for me anyways, but remember that these families, they've been told for many years, months, weeks, days, that, oh my God, he's so stinky. Oh, get him put down. You know, people have been looking at this pet often for a lot of time, like criticizing the family's choices and, you know, the breath and the look, and oh, he looks horrible. Yeah, try to find something nice in that pet. And I know you guys are experts at that. Oh, look at this. He's got such beautiful eyes. I love his coat or whatever. And just make it nice, because they've been like judged so much by their friends and family. Hi, handsome. You know, they're all handsome, and we have the capacity to see that this disease or whatever has transformed this pet, but we can see the beauty. So just express that if you can, in, you know, if it's sincere. Don't fake it, of course. Um, Setting the tone, you know, try to walk into the room and being kind of relaxed. And I know it's hard. I know you have appointments waiting, you haven't had lunch, you have to pick up the kids. But I read something in a magazine, I thought it was interesting. A vet was saying, before I walk into a euthanasia appointment, you know, I make a prayer. I just stand by the door and I just like have this little prayer. I tell myself, you don't need to pray, but just like having some kind of a buffer zone for 3, 5, 10 seconds, and just, you know, say, maybe I hope everything is going to go fine for this family. I'm privileged. I'm living my child's dream. I'm going to help this family, and blah, blah, blah. You know, just have some kind of a time where you just give yourself a couple of seconds to buffer, and try to stay natural. We'll see that a little later. Keep in mind, and I know you know, for them, it's a baby. It's once in their lifetime. Their priority is absence of stress, absence of pain. This is what they want. For us, we were trained and kind of formatted on get this heart to stop before anything goes wrong. All right. It's a patient. We're going to see a lot of them today. Remember what their priority is: absence of stress. Because I faced that so many times in practice. I was 25 years in practice. You know, you give the sedation and he's not quite sedated enough, and you're like, should I just go ahead and do it? You know, are they going to think, oh my God, it's taking her so long? It's not their priority. And if I just go ahead, he might react and they might interpret that as pain or stress or whatever. So try to make your choices accordingly to their priority, which is absence of stress. And often what they say, you know, no matter how long you think it took you, but often clients will say, oh my God, that went so fast. They told me, are you ready? And I said, yes. And just, he was gone within 3 seconds. So we don't need to push on that plunger as fast as we sometimes do. So just keep that in mind. And I know you know. Making it easier for the family, you know, for the longest time, like you just have to fill up this form, the consent, you know. And instead you could say, you only have to sign here. It's only here to make sure that we understand each other. We're going to euthanize your pet, blah, blah, blah. Just sign here. Make it easier for them. Because, you know, filling up a form, like we all hate it. Imagine the day where you lose your pet. Try not to take away that pet. Those last couple of minutes are so precious to the family. So as much as you can, just guess the weight. You know, in euthanasia, you have a wide range of where you can play in with the doses, or you have in the file some way you can rely on, or a colleague that will say, that's a 25-pounder, blah, blah, blah. So just try, and as much as you can, they don't understand that we think in meg per kg, so just guess it. Telling them, you know, today's not easy. I've been through that. Jocelyn just lost her cat. I mean, we're with you. We know what it's not easy today, but we'll do everything we can to make this a positive experience and a priceless moment. We're here for you. We've lost pets. Because we might, you know, you don't think about that, but they might think that you've never lost a pet, that you've saved all of your pets. You're so extraordinary, but you know, just let them know you're with them. And share your story. So we need to build some bridges with these families, and you know, show each other that we share a lot, actually. And number one is, you know, the love for those pets, and just saying, I've lost a pet. And my first pet, his name was Maxu. I got him at a pet shop. And, just share some of your stuff and show how much you care, just showing some love to that pet. And this is bringing us to the roots. This is why we're in vet med. It's because we love that bond. So typically when I was a younger vet and I didn't need glasses, uh, I thought that because people had a hard time, I needed like to be so, like not expressive. And I'm so hypersensitive that I look at them and the pain goes through my skin. And, I thought that I shouldn't say very much and I shouldn't be myself. I shouldn't be expressive because it's a sad moment. And then I realized with time and life experiences that people that go through a hard time, they just want to be treated normal. And here in that specific time, they're afraid of being judged. So you are their anchor. You need to anchor them and look like this is legit. We're doing the right thing tonight for Toby. I'm his doctor, and you're the family, and we're doing this for him because he's the most important, here. We're doing this for him. And just being just more self-assured instead of, oh, you're sad. So for me, it was a big game changer when I decided, or I realized that they needed me to be self-confident and they would feel better about that. The doctor seems to be fine with that. Otherwise, like, the doctor doesn't even look at me, like maybe she doesn't agree. Maybe I should do more tests. Maybe I should be giving more medication. So you just want to help them make that permission, like it's fine. We're doing the right thing. Give them perspective. Do you have any concerns? Open up the door. You seem to be worried. Is there any questions that I answer right this moment? And, well, maybe if they're not sure about the decision, tell them what would happen if we would do things differently. Well, his quality of life could go down. Maybe he would start seizuring in the middle of the night. What are we risking to extend that period of time? And maybe there's going to be some complications, and typically they will happen during the night. Why are we doing that? Are we putting him first? We have the chance with pets to allow them to depart with dignity. And that resonates with a lot of people that have some of their family members that have been struggling and, are stuck in a situation where the dignity is going down and nothing can be done. The family needs some preparation, some guidance, some active listening. So, asking, you seem to be worried. Is there anything that you'd like me to talk about? So we've been through that. When I want to talk about the preparation is we do euthanasia very often. Remember how it was when you didn't know what you now know, because normal people don't know what a cat on ketamine is going to look like 2 minutes after the injection. That's quite surprising. So we need to prepare them and explain what they're going to see, what they're going to feel, how much time it's going to take, what they're going to look like. And the family likes to be involved in this. Different studies have shown it recently that they just want to be part of it. And that, of course, that's a sales pitch for euthabag, but no, really, I mean, as a vet, it's just incredible the power of that ritual of just putting a note on that bag. It's like all that love that they have for the pet and the guilt and the emotion and the feeling is just like stuck. It doesn't know where to go. And this is giving it somewhere to go. Plus, when they leave their pet on the exam room with a blanket and they say goodbye, and this is the last image, they're seeing their baby not being protected, and they don't know what the following steps are going to be. And they don't ask any question right that moment, but then they walk back to their car and they're in their apartment. They're like, why are they going to transport him in? Oh, is he going to be stuck with another pet in his face, or would they put them in a box? So I'd rather talk about it and say, because I know people are worried. At our clinic, we decided to protect his dignity. He's going to be in his own little sacred vessel. And if you'd like, you could put a note that will be with him for the rest, of the journey. Or if you want to be present, you can, or we'll just do it with our team as if you were present. So don't worry about that. You could write a letter also that we could insert in the bag, or on the bag you can leave a note. I had an elderly lady that just wrote a whole letter to her cat behind the bag, and I could feel that it was making her feel much better. Also, to involve them, we want to give them some tools. We'll see in a minute. Just let them know there are some books about pet loss for adults, for kids as well. It's not obvious. It's something that is developing. It's still yet a little taboo. So, did you know there are some books? Did you know there are some grief counselors? And by just saying that, you can be their hero, make a whole difference in their journey, the grief journey. And I had that experience myself with a client that did everything for that dog: amputation, physiotherapy, chemotherapy, the best medical care ever. And I saw her a month after she lost her dog. She wasn't right. I'm like, ooh, have you thought of a grief counselor? Because, I was taken away from her when she went into a specialist to take good care of that medical condition, that cancer that he had. And I'm like, have you heard of the grief counselor? She's like, no. And I went to my psychologist and he wanted to solve the problems with my father. It's not about my father. It's my dog. I did everything, yet he died. And I'm not taking it. So I said, look her up. She's great. 2 consultation. And she called me back laughing. She's like, she saved me. So I was like the big hero. The guys that worked so hard saving that pet or extending the life of that pet didn't have so I made a difference, yet I'm just a JP. So that's a nice way to close that and show them how much we care about them. Also think about maybe offering some pre-euthanasia consult. There's so much stuff to talk about, and we stuff it in like a 40-minute consult where we talk about aftercare and sedation and everything, do the euthanasia, remembrance moment, brief after. If you could offer that, I think that's the future. We can talk about how it's going to happen and the choices to be made, and then we just do the euthanasia that day. I think that'd be great. Also, the families would like to be waited for. And so for so many years, people would walk into the room like, yeah, so we're going to give him a sedation. And I would get my stuff ready. As I was explaining the procedure. I don't do that anymore. Now I have everything ready. The blankie, all the medication is in a special little bag. I have some treats ready for him. We were waiting for you. Some clinics even put the pet's name on the door. This is Bori's day, or we're saying goodbye, whatever. And then they feel like, they made some time for me. They're so moved by that. Also, let them know about at-home euthanasia. It's sprouting all over those services. People don't know about it. It doesn't exist in human medicine. If you're the one that told them about that, it's great. They'll be forever grateful. And if we can help this room, if you don't have a separate room, if you can fluff it a bit and make it feel different, maybe just a lamp you can bring, especially for euthanasia, or an artificial plant, a little carpet. Just change the vibe a little bit. Have some treats, and also some treats that they have never been allowed to. Some Reese's and things like that. I can really relate to that now that I lost my father in a hospital. This is the hospital where my father died. And this is, I'll always remember the room he died in. And I was there, and he was in a coma, and I was sure he would never react to my presence when I came. And yet he did. So it's like a full experience. It took me years to process. This is what our clients are facing. It's a whole experience. So then I imagine, what if, at the time I had a newborn when my father passed, like, what if I need to come to the same exact hospital, same room with my newborn to get a vaccine? No, I'm not going there. I'm moving to another hospital. Unless the doctor's so nice that I want her. So this is what we're trying to do, is give them the strength to come back and see us, because we love to have that relationship with our clients and continue. But yeah, we need to show extra to give them the strength. It's just too hard. Yeah, just ask them if they have a special request, because it's not because they've been through that experience before that, they don't have something that worries them or they would like to change. Um, and just let them know that they can talk to their pet, they can touch, they can kiss, and that their animal can hear them. And that looks pretty obvious, but I had a couple of clients that are like, oh, I can't touch her. I thought that when you give the poison, she might just jump out and bite me. And like, whoa, 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 no poison here. And I could see, like, I had no idea how it was going to happen. I didn't know how many years ago they had their last pet euthanized or where and everything. For me, that was a big game changer at first. So, I would say, well, um, Blackie is gone. And then emotional discharge. And then I feel bad. And then they feel bad to be crying in front of me. So they just run away. And then I'm like, take care of. And then I look through the window at reception. I'm like, are they still in the car? Jocelyn, make sure he doesn't take his car right now. Make sure, go check on him. He's in the car sobbing. Now I'm like, I keep them captive. I take control of the situation after I say he's passed. Then I debrief and I'm like, hey, and I touch him. I realize that really helps them. I thought it was a peaceful process. I felt like he was ready and everything was great. Do you feel the same? Like, how, what's your perspective on the experience this time? And then this is when they open. It's like, oh, that's great. And, it reminded me when blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And I was wondering, why did you pick this name? Buster. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's because, and where did you get him? Is it your first Rottweiler? Blah, blah, blah. And then this is where the magic happens. This is vet med essence. We talk about, oh, yeah, yeah, no. And look, like that's him. That's him when he was running after the four-wheeler. And then one day, he blah, blah. It was so much fun. And oh, yeah, look, that's him. And he sang with my parakeet. Like, and then we just have so much fun and we share what's the silliness of those pets and how crazy we are about them. And for me, now I just love sharing that. It's when I feel like I did my job is when they sob, they cry, but yet they smile. They're like, oh, she understands me. She's just as crazy as me with pets. Um, and so, we've had that body bag, that plastic bag forever, right? Decades. Somebody came up with that idea at one point, but it's not aligned with what people want now. So now there's been studies and surveys all over in the US, UK, Canada, US. It's how we're going to treat the pet's body after is important to a vast majority, 85% of the people. So why don't we adapt to that and give them a chance to have some kind of a ritual? By the way, rituals, like, is that any useful? Oh, I'm a typical analytical vet. Oh, there's a study. Okay, business, Harvard. Oh, even better. What do they have to say about rituals? They actually make a huge difference. So any loss you experience, a job, a relationship, a pet, if you have some kind of ritual that will help you bring back some control to this situation, because this is what is so hard about grieving is I want it back. It's great. No, you can't. He's gone. He's dead. Never going to come back. So frustrating. And with the rituals, then it's giving you some control back. And this is, I adopted a guinea pig, shelter guinea pig. Loved them to death. It was so much fun. And when he was sick, my daughter said, Mom, you're a vet, but actually you're a terrible vet because you can't even save our own guinea pig. Like, what is it for? And I was like, yeah, he has cancer. Okay. But there was a big tension between my daughter and I. And I was at the clinic. It was so sad. And she was frustrated. And I'm like, hey, let's do some paw prints and some nose prints and gold ones and silver ones and dee-da-dee-doo-doo. We went for like 15 minutes crazy on the paw prints. Oh, no, look like that works better. 15 minutes. We were like, no, it was so nice. And we were together in that experience. And it was a regulation mechanism that really unified us in the experience. The bag that there is on the picture, that's a clinic cat. The clinic owner said it's the best investment they did for my clinic is getting a clinic cat to decrease the stress of my team. When he passed, everybody put a little word for King Leo because he was so important to everybody, and everybody was together in that moment. So very powerful. And vet techs are so empathetic. I mean, they, look at the bandages they make. Just they want to show the family that they're with them. It's so important. You can make such a difference. And then people post that on social media because they're like, incredible. So tools, there's so many tools for the family. Helping them making the decision, understanding the choices they're going to have to make for that moment. So we can give them literature ahead, so it's easier when they come and they have a better idea. Otherwise, the turmoil brought by the emotions is just making things very confused. So quality of life skills. So important because we say, you're going to have to make that decision. And then they come home and Mr. Green is like, so what did the vet say? Well, we have to make the decision. Based on what? So there are some apps that you can recommend. You can also print a quality of life questionnaire. People can just put sad face or happy face on a calendar. So many options. So that I really like. It's really helping the families. It's a 2-page questionnaire. Asking the right questions. People don't know that the breathing will indicate the level of pain. They have no idea about the jumping, the mobility, the hygiene. It's not only about appetite. I thought it was for so many years. Oh, he's still eating. Nah. So, of course, there's not a score where it says, beep, beep, euthanize your pet. It's just like, it gives them something to talk about. Because as you know, often the family is very polarized. The husband says that, and the kids say that, and da. So now they have something that they can discuss in a more structured way. Also, taking into account the quality of life of that family. You've all had that 60-pound lady that carries the Labrador up and down the stairs multiple times. There's urine everywhere. We are the people to help her make a decision, taking everything in account, including her quality of life. So that, in case you don't know, you probably know of the feline grammar skill, and if you don't, well, I'm going to make your night. This is so useful. I wish I would have discovered that before, and I had the chance to meet with the creator of it this summer. Super interesting for those cat owners. They can download it for free in 5 languages on their phone. Print that, have that in your treatment room. There's also the beep pain scale. I really love the drawing because so many people say, oh, he doesn't feel pain, he doesn't cry. So many of them are being shown to us 7 or 8 severe pain, yet people have no idea. So it's really helping them understand. Easy to just make a copy, give it to them, educate them. Also, there is a poem I discovered many years ago, and every time I read it, personally, the Rainbow Bridge doesn't resonate with me at all, but this one, I just love it. Then you must do what must be done for this last battle that cannot be won. Your love for me must stand the test, blah, blah, blah. Any euthanasia, I just make a copy. I'm like, read this at home. You're going to cry, but this is showing how much love you're putting in that decision, and you're the only one that could do that for her. Another one we came up with, because, I'm trying to come up with all the tools I needed when I was in practice. Didn't have time to come up with. So an aftercare FAQ, 22 questions about how to make that choice, saving you about 15-minute discussion. You can send it by email in a pre-euthanasia email. I think it just makes more sense. There's just so much to talk about. Pet loss counselor, I talked about it earlier. There is also Dr. Tarantino website. It's really insightful for senior dog pet owners. And so that email, that was my little guinea pig when he was a little sick already. So you could be sending by email the authorization form, FAQ on euthanasia. You could be sending the crematorium website or the FAQ on aftercare. Even online payment could be an option. Just allowing them to make the decisions according to their preferences, and in a setting where they're quiet and they can talk about it, not in the clinic at the counter with people waiting behind for dog food, like I did for so many years. Ridiculous. Do you want a silver plate or a golden plate? And you get people behind them like, try to, so as I mentioned, remember when you did not know what you now know. What is the process? You have no idea how long it takes. Prepare them, especially to the sedatives. When you say to a lady, we're going to give a trank to your cat, and well, you need to say how long it's going to take, because it kicks in so fast. It can be quite shocking. He's going to be stiff looking at the ceiling, depending on what you're giving, but just prepare them to what they're going to see. Otherwise, it's super, super shocking. The euthanasia solution, people don't understand that word. We'll see that later, but, take your time. You're not in a rush. You don't need to, when you push on the plunger and your hand trembles like that, it can take a minute. It doesn't need to take 5 seconds like we were trained for. In case you don't do that already, such a game changer for me. I have the family in the front, and they kiss and sob and talk and sing, whatever. I'm in the back with Super Vet Tech, and we use those veins the great veins we have in the back, and they do their stuff. We're in there. Super. That we talked about. And you probably, if you're here at this talk, you're probably already doing that. But in case you don't, the nose prints and the paw prints make such a difference. I used to do it only for my favorite clients. Now I just do it for all. Most of them just love it. And I've got my vet tech that just loves doing that. She's on a mission because she didn't get one for her dog. And she's like, I would have loved to get that. So I'm doing that for them. Sympathy card, if you can send it 3 to 5 days after. This is where when the people start like, did the vet check that? Did the vet make all the tested? Maybe he didn't try that, So this is when they wonder. So if you come up with a card, they're like, oh my God, they're so nice. I can't believe they did that. So I'm throwing so many things that you could be implementing in your clinic. You're like, oh my God, this is already so complicated. Oh my gosh, she's too much. I just want to share with you a TikTok video. Warning, you might get watery eyes. But it's TikTok. It's 2025, so you need to know about it. It's a template. People can upload pictures of a beloved person or pet that they have lost. And it's just so beautiful. It's showing how important that is. So check it out.
When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. And each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly love.
Isn't that too much? Whoa, once is enough. So yeah, it's out there. It's just beautiful. So I want to give you some time to process all of the info I came up with first and just show how valuable your commitment is, because I know that if you're here tonight for lunch now, it's because you want to do more and contribute to making that experience priceless. So talking about the verbiage that we use, remember that we speak our own language as vet teams. We have our own jargon. So it's important to make that understandable for people. So as a younger vet, I was like, well, they didn't ask any questions, so they understood. No, 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 not at all. They're feeling judged, they're feeling stupid, they're feeling guilty. So we need to make it more digestible. So instead of saying, we're going to put an IV catheter on Snowy today, and then give a sedative, and then that will allow us to give him the euthanasia solution. Do you think they understood something? No. And I said that for so many years. So the IV catheter, it's going to be a device that we're going to put in his vein so we can give him all of the medication he needs without him feeling anything. It's like when you get, the fluids when you're at the hospital, same thing. And we'll give him a calming agent, because a sedative, it's not even a word. So it's a calming agent. And the euthanasia solution, it's actually a word that doesn't make any sense because there's no such thing. It's an anesthetic. So it's a large dose of anesthetic that will make him lose consciousness. And it's what we could be using for surgery. We're just going to give him more so his heart is going to fall asleep and he's going to pass in his sleep. Wow, I signed for that. Instead of saying you'll know when the moment will come, because that's not true. It's extremely difficult to decide when. And we're here to help you because we're professionals and you're a loving family, and together we'll make the best decision for him. Call us when you're ready. No, you're never ready for that. When you want to talk about it, and then we'll help you making sure that you feel ready because you feel it's the right thing to do. And that I said so many times. You can't do anything for him. What about saying, you did an extraordinary job? There's nothing you didn't try. You woke up at night, you came to pick up the medication, you gave him that, you picked the right diet for him, and you put that, you're the best. You did everything, but now it's time to put him first and prioritize his quality of life and protect his dignity. Because here we're here for him, number one. I don't want to make the decision. Together, we will decide for your companion. And I said that for so many years, you're making the right decision. Instead of that, you just say, we're making the right decision for him today. This is what we need to do. Anchor them, give them the permission. I wish he would fall asleep and not wake up. Well, this is what euthanasia does. Exactly. He will pass in his sleep. Isn't that beautiful? I would like him to have a natural death. You know that. You've heard that so many times. Natural is neither fast or painless. He can have seizures. He can have a hemorrhage. He can have an emboli. It's in his current state is not natural. If he would be in the nature, he would have been gone for a long time ago. Real quick note here, for so many years, I used to stand up behind my consult table, exam table, and the clients are typically, sitting down, especially the elderly persons. And I would say, so no, I think that we should be doing that. You're doing the right thing for Fluffy. And they're looking at me, from under. Instead of that, now I cross the zone and I go on the other side of the exam table, and I'm sitting right side by side, same eye level. Maybe I'll put my hand on their shoulder. That elderly lady, she's so cute. I love her. And I'm like, you know what? This is what we need to do for Fluffy today. She needs us to make that decision for her. Just get closer to same eye level. I feel makes a huge difference. For kids, you probably know that, but this is my daughter with my rescue dog, of course, another one. That I had to put him down because he bit her in the face, and I did not know what to do. And that was only 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to tell her he just disappeared, or, make up some kind of story. Thank God my friend told me, no, you don't do that, because my parents did that when I was 3 years old, and I will never forgive them. I felt betrayed. You need to tell her the truth. I'm like, really? Well, she's only 3 years old. No. They understand, and I'm so glad I did that. So use the real words, like dying, not leaving or sleeping, going in the sky. Because then I heard a story where a kid got scared when it was raining because he felt the dog was going to fall from the sky. He went away. So then they're like, oh, I'm just going to get some butter. Oh, is she going to come back? You know, just real. Yeah, I'm not actually more worried about the parents than the kids, to be honest. And just give the kid a choice if he wants to be present or not. I'd rather, when they're under 12, I'd rather not have them around. Give them something to draw or write a letter and invite them after to say goodbye. Tell them, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to be sad. It's okay not to feel anything at this moment right now. And it's okay not to want to talk about it. Everybody's different. You process the way you want it. And as a vet, what to say, Buster's not coming back. I'm very sad about it. And it's okay for you to be sad. And you know what? Bobby won't feel scared or be in pain at all when we do that. He's just gonna pass in his sleep. He's gonna die while he sleeps. But this is what we need to do because he's not feeling good right now. And he counts on us to help him. Super simple. And I was thought that when I was very involved in a summer camp for kids, and we had a lot of farm animals die, and the director told me, oh, just have the kids make a funeral. I'm like, is he crazy? Wonderful. Get the kids to make a funeral, get some flowers, make a cross, make some drawings on the cross, get whatever. And then I know at first it's so intense. And in the middle is a picture of my kids that made a ceremony for the chicks that our family dog killed after we saw them born. It was so intense. And like for 10 minutes, they cry and you're moved, right? But then after that, they're like, oh yeah, they're singing and remembering how much they love the chicks and how fun they are to play with, la la la. So the funeral is a way for them to express and get that love out somewhere into something constructive, There are so many books, and on our website we have an extensive list of everything that there is out there. Some are written by vets, Dr. Sugar, and so many other ones. We also have some coloring pages you can download on our website. We have a handout to give to the parents because they're so afraid what to say, not to say. Okay, now, wow. I really want to share that with you guys because like the one nonsense I could see in vet med was the plastic bag. The rest of it, I mean, everything makes sense. We deal with pain so well nowadays, and we prevent so many. I think we're just exceptional in every way in vet med. Excuse me. It's really how I feel. But there's still one thing. After the body bag's taken care of, what's going on in the home burial? Every day, people are letting families leave the clinic with a biohazard waste in their hands that could poison another pet or a wild animal, contaminate the water and the soil. And it's like, take care, good luck. Whoa, excuse me, what's going on? I mean, we're taking so many precautions for surgeries, taking tests and making them sign forms and everything. They understand the risk, and just like home burial, okay. Whoa, stop that. We don't want any liability complaint in our life ever. So AVM is really clear. Fail to provide the information to the clients could bring serious repercussions, blah, blah, blah. You need to inform that Pento is potentially poisonous for all of those creatures. So another thing you need to take care of, guys, doctors and vet techs. Also, something nobody talks about. Pentobarbital is extremely stable. It doesn't break down like penicillin and other stuff. Different studies have been done. And this is the most optimistic one. After 4 months, 17% of the pentos left in the soil. Okay, so you want to plant tomatoes around where you buried your cat? Not sure it's a good idea. You might feel it's kind of cool after you eat your tomatoes. And some other studies are showing that after a whole year composting equine carcasses, no decrease in the pentobarbital. concentration. My experience at the vet clinic, we had 2 dogs go nibble on a horse that was euthanized by a vet at the clinic 3 years prior. Both of them passed out, only nibbling on the leather and on the skin. Whoa. This is what we're letting happen. I ended up in a thread on Facebook close group, tons of people talking about horror stories on animals being dug up. Myself, I buried a cat when I didn't know all of that. And next morning, the Siamese was out of the site. Thank God nobody nibbled on him. So that stuff happens probably more often than you realize. And so I had somebody say that she was thankful to have her rat into something because otherwise, he didn't, the animal that dug up didn't touch him. Phew. So it's, in most cases, it's not legal to do it. But then at least if you give a handout or give the information, in my case, people say, oh, I'm like, you're in front of the only vet that will explain you exactly how to bury a pet. So do you have a shovel? Yeah, no, I'm going to go get one at the hardware store. Oh, do you know how to sharpen a shovel? No, I had no idea. I didn't. Yeah, you need that to bury a golden retriever. And where are you going to do it? Well, in the sand pit. No, you can't do this because you're going to find her by the side of the road the next morning. I don't think you want that. Oh my God, I had no idea. Thank you so much, Dr. JP. Saved a lot of trouble to this family. So you need to explain everything. And they go like, how much is private cremation? Yeah, thank you, doctor. I had no idea. So the death, you need a municipal authorization, the distance from a water source, the type of soil is, are you located in a floodable area? Yeah, in the spring. No, you can't do this there because the Pinto will go into the water. I don't think I put it there. I found a study, 1998. They sampled a creek 300 meters from where pets had been buried, euthanized pet had been buried 21 years prior. They found Pinto in the creek. Don't ask me how. I don't understand. Spectrophotometry, they find some Pinto. Serious stuff. Hey, there is a cemetery. Maybe you want to go there if you really want to bury your pet or get him cremated. Bury the ashes, please. Good news. Euthanasia is now made of 100% recycled material in Canada. It's made out of garbage that would be incinerated anyways because nobody knows what to do with recycled plastic anymore. There's so much. So it was a very important thing for me to come up with it, and I've been working on it for 8 years. It's now available, being tested in Canada since October. This is the pricing of Euthanasia from $5 to $17, trying to make that so affordable that you just blend it in your euthanasia cremation cost, and it's got an impact of like 3%. A lot of all the VCA practices in Quebec use Euthanasia since 2006. Actually make money out of it. Average $5,000 because they charge. It's normal. Take the time, you protect their dignity. It's important to the people, to most people. So in vet med, we're supposed to talk about something if we're not picking the best option. Well, the plastic bag is not the best option anymore, excuse me. So you don't want to talk about that. Just use it, charge for it. I asked those people at VC, I'm like, have you had any complaint about increasing $20? No, we've not. Okay, well, I'm not surprised, And the vet techs are so happy. There's like, they tell me there's the before and after body bag era. It changed their work so much because they're so compassionate. They're so empathetic. They're so involved in their work. Asking them to put it in a garbage bag doesn't make sense. Call it a plastic bag if you like. Hey, there is a promo at CDMV only. You get a pack of sympathy card as a bonus when you order a trial pack that has 13 body bags in it, and it's a value of $135. Money back guarantee. If you don't like the bag, let me know and we'll just refund the money. You don't need to send anything back. You just say I don't like it. So you don't take any risk. 98% of people that purchase it back. So I'm confident. You can request a free sample scanning that code or go on our website. You can learn more on euthanasia on our CE platform. I came up with that platform because I just want to save the suffering I had to experience. Saying the wrong things, using the wrong molecules, the wrong vein, whatever. It's time to stop that suffering because new grads are still not very well equipped to face the reality of euthanasia. That can become something very fulfilling, actually. And have you seen this quote? If the doctor treats men, remember that vet teams treat mankind. I truly believe, I think we're the best people. Or death, life, people, animals, we're in the middle of everything. That's why people are so rough on us. It's because what we do is so important. Thank you for being here today. I'm sure you already do so much. And if you'd like to share your experience, what's been working for you, my objective here is to bring that to our community. And I give webinars often. I just want to share the best stuff that people came up with because you're so creative and inventive. And thank you for doing what you do in practice every day. It's so important. If you can just leave some feedback in the chat, because I tell you, giving a webinar in front of just one green light, I have no idea what is the expression on your face. It's really challenging. So to you, Julie, and you can turn on your camera if you like to see your beautiful faces. Now you can, maybe.
Thank you, Celine. Talking about extra sensitive people, I was listening to your content and not working in a clinic, right? Never realized the reality of euthanasia. So yeah, it touches me. So I'm pretty sure the content will be useful for people that attended the conference. So a few minutes. I know some of you may have to go back. You're on lunch time, yeah. So
to save lives, yeah.
Yeah. If any of you have questions, we can use the chat. I see some comments. Thank you, Celine, in French. A few people from Quebec, I guess. We're going to wait a few minutes again, and still, if there's any question, we're going to stay on the line. If not, thank you all for attending. And again, it's going to be available. The conference will be available on replay on cdmv.com in the campus section. And we're going to send you a certificate as well of attendance. So thanks for your comments.
Yeah, it really is. It really means a lot. We're very vulnerable giving those presentations in front of a computer.
Great job, Celine.
Merci, Annie. Hey, Annie is such a celebrity and a key opinion leader in the field. So I think it was pretty clear. We've got no questions.
Yeah.
Super.
So again, thank you all, and have a great day. Thank you, Celine.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.